morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 87 in our review. Please subscribe. I'm not going to vary from what I've been doing since we started this review. I am going to start by reading the titles of each of the lessons that we are reviewing and see how beautifully they weave together in a complete thought and curriculum for us. So we began with I am the light of the world, and forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. And the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. So let me not forget my function. My only function is the one God gave me, and my happiness and my function are truly one. Love created me like itself. God holds no grievances. Love holds no grievances. My grievances hide the light of the world in me, and my salvation, my freedom, my happiness come from me. And only God's plan, only love's plan for salvation, for my freedom, for my happiness will work. And holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for my salvation. Obviously, I added a few words here and there, but I don't believe I changed the meaning of what our lessons are. Did I say please subscribe? If not, please do if you haven't. So the lessons for today, review lesson 87. We have one word that is very prominent in both lessons, and the word is will, W-I-L-L. And it is a word that can be a noun and it can be a verb, and it is used in many different ways, or different ways here in these two lessons. And for the second one, I'm going to substitute it for another word with a good reason. So the first lesson we are reviewing is lesson 73. I will there be light. I want, I desire there to be light. And I will use the power of my will today. My will is strong because my will and God's are one and the same. And it is not my will, it's not my desire to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. It's a very visual, I think, that line is to grope about. I can see myself in a cave that's dark and foreboding and wet and humid, and I cannot see anything. It is so dark I cannot see my hand in front of my face, and I'm groping about. I'm wandering about with my arms perhaps out in front of me, trying to find something. That's kind of what we do when we immerse ourselves in the ego's world, in ego land. We grope about, looking for something, and afraid of everything that might come around the next corner. We are fearful of all of the shadows and the things that are unseen and unreal because they come from the ego, and they are all illusions. We know that to be true at this point. So, and yet I'm afraid of them. I don't know what the next thing might be. It's waiting for that proverbial shoe to drop, or to slip on the banana peel. It's never really knowing. Light shall be my guide today. In the answer to groping about, the opposite of that will be that instead of groping about in the darkness, I will have light be my guide, light to show me the way, and I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look only on what it shows me. This day, I will experience the peace of true perception, which is only available to see, to have true perception when there is light. So yes, I will there be light. I desire there to be light, because the light shines and reveals the truth that is in my mind so that I can see, perceive truly. The light allows the truth to indeed to be seen. And our practicing lines that we are given today, that this cannot hide the light I will to see, the light I want to see. Whatever this is that I am perceiving outside of myself, it's an illusion. It's not with true perception. And whatever it is, it will not hide the light. Nothing can change the light that is within us and the light that is all around us. And now we say to a brother that you stand with me in light, and then fill in the blank as we are familiar with. And in the light, this will look different. And yes, when all the shadows are removed, when the darkness is gone, whatever it is will indeed look differently. It will be able to be seen truly. Now, our second lesson is there is no will but God's. When we started this review, we were given in one of the paragraphs that, you know, there's going to be a difference here, that these practice periods are dedications to the way, the truth, and the life, and refuse to be sidetracked into detours, illusions, and thoughts of death. So, to follow that, for this lesson, I want to substitute the word will for the word way. There is no way but God's. And I think that works well. I'm safe today because there is no way but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another way. I try to attack only when I'm afraid, and only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today I recognize that all of this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no way but God's. So the one sentence, I just eliminated the word will because way wouldn't work in that one. Tense-wise. Grammatically, it would be grammatically incorrect. There's no way but God's. When we first did this lesson, I went to chapter 9, section 1, first line. I called it the 911. And it works with this because the lesson is there is no will but God's. And that line from the chapter 9, the acceptance of the atonement, the acceptance of reality, and the line is, fear of the will of God is one of the strangest beliefs the human mind has made. When we realize that, just that, if we recognize and realize that one line, that to be afraid of God's will is a very strange fear for us to have, because God's will for us is exactly what we want. The way that God wants us to go, the way He wants to show us, is the way to our happiness, our freedom, our peace, our joy. For me to be afraid of that is a very strange belief. The lines that we are given for our practicing, let me perceive this in accordance with the way of God. It is God's way, and you are His son, and then fill in the blank, and mine as well. And this is part of God's way for me, however I may see it. God's way is to be my way, not the highway. God's way is always the high way, Janitism. And let us choose that today, because that is where our happiness, our truth, our safety lies, with God. And that is all for today. Remember to practice 15 minutes for each of the lessons in the morning and sometime thereafter, hourly, to say these, at least just the titles of the review lessons, to remind ourselves, and to smile. I didn't say that yesterday, and breathe. These are happy lessons. These are happy awarenesses. So smile at them. Breathe in. Release what is not God's way for you, for me, for all of us. Let it go and pray that we all hold hands and come home together. Namaste.